What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm actually gonna head to the junkyard right now because there's actually a 240 SX there. Someone posted it on a SoCal S chassis page, so I'm actually gonna go head over there because I do need a steel line for my power steering, and I don't have power steering on my 240, which sucks. So hopefully there's that steel lines on that 240 SX at the junkyard, and maybe I'll probably grab like other small parts here and there that I need for the 240. But yeah, I'm just gonna grab my tools, warm up the car, and we're just gonna head out to the junkyard. So let's go. So I grabbed all my stuff and we're about 23 minutes away from the junkyard, and hopefully that power steering line is there. I definitely need it since it has a leak. When the engine gets hot, the power steering fluid sometimes hits the engine or the oil pan and it starts smoking up, and then it starts smelling inside the car. So we definitely need that line, but we're about like 23 minutes away from the junkyard. Alright, so after spending some time walking around, we did find one. It's actually a single cam, and I need the power steering line, which is in there and it's intact. It's brand new. I can take this one too. This one right here, but I already have one, so I don't need it. But I'm just gonna crawl under the car and I'm just gonna take it out real quick. So I ended up finding the power steering line. It was only a couple bolts, so it was pretty easy to take off. But right now I'm actually gonna head home and swap out the part. There was that power steering pressure line, but I didn't need it because I actually bought it off of someone else in the Facebook page. So I didn't need it at all because, you know, it's still brand new. So I just needed that steel line that goes to the reservoir tank. So we're just gonna go, I'm gonna go ahead and swap it out and then fill it up with power steering fluid, and hopefully it doesn't leak out. So I picked up this power steering line at the junkyard, and this line actually goes to the reservoir, which is this top line right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off this line and replace it, and that should give us power steering. I have to remove a bolt here and I have to remove that main bolt on the other side, so let's go ahead and do that. It took me a while to get the line out, and if you guys can tell that this is my old line, it's broken from right here. This is the new line, so I'm gonna go ahead and just slap this new line in and then fill it up with some power steering fluid, and I might as well just throw this away because I have no use for it. I'll just break it. Oh, it broke. So I went ahead and put everything back on the car. I just drove it because it was across the street, so I went ahead and drove it right next to my backyard. I'm gonna go ahead and lift up the hood. I actually had to go to Walmart because I ran out of ATF transmission fluid. I'm gonna use this for power steering fluid, and my 30 amp fuse actually popped. So that fuse is for my fans. It was my fault because I didn't disconnect the battery. I was messing around with the power steering line, and that power steering line accidentally hit my relay and popped my fuse. So I went ahead and bought some new 30 amp fuse. I just bought a case just in case if something happens, I can just, you know, take it off and then pop a new one in and we'll be good to go. But let's go ahead and fill up the power steering reservoir and see if we don't have any leaks. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully I tightened everything down, but we'll find out right now. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't have a funnel, so I'm gonna be like super careful with it. Nice and easy. It might, honestly, it's probably gonna take a quart or maybe a quart and a half, because it's gonna take a lot because there's nothing. Ever since that leak, it's been throwing out everything. I think it threw out the power steering fluid or the liquid on the power steering rack too. So I went ahead and opened the line for the reservoir tank a little bit, that way the air can come out, and then I'll just go ahead and double check on the other side and see if the fluid is leaking. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start it real quick. Make sure it's on neutral first. Neutral. Here we go. This time it took like 3 tries, but go over here. See if it's leaking on this side. So far so good. I'm gonna go ahead and add more. Nice and easy. Looks like it's gonna take the entire quart. So I'm gonna let it chill for like 5 minutes. I'm gonna see if the fluid actually goes down a little bit, because now the power steering pump is working now. While that's happening, I'm also gonna check the other side, because I left the power steering line open a little bit. That way the air can escape. Once I see that the liquid is leaking, I'll go ahead and tighten it up with a 17mm ratchet. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Oh my god, so much easier now. I'm so happy. I went ahead and tightened up the power steering line on the racking pinion. I tightened it up with the 17mm ratchet, but after I tighten it up, man, it's so smooth. Like, dude, I haven't had power steering in a long time. I'm like so happy. I can move it with ease. I can do it with one hand too. Now I don't have to wrestle with the steering wheel again. Once I tightened it down, the steering wheel response is so much better. It was kind of leaking a little bit, so I decided, like, you know what, it's already leaking, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten it down. Went ahead and tightened it down, and while that was happening, the fluid level went low, so I'm just gonna dump the rest of the quart in there, because there's only a little bit on the quart. Just dump a little bit more. That's it. Now I have power steering, which is freaking, man, I needed it so bad, but I'm so happy that I have power steering now. I had to come to the house real quick just to get my wallet. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a test run with it. At the same time I'm doing that, I'm just gonna pull over as well, check the fluid level, make sure it's not leaking, and I'm just gonna check the bottom of the car as well to see if we have any small leak or anything like that. But other than that, like, it's working, man. I'm like so happy. Check it out, playboys. Woohoo! Dude, I can turn so much easier now. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull over real quick, and I'm gonna check to see if we're leaking power steering fluid. So everything looks legit. No leaks whatsoever. I'm looking at the floor where the alternator's at right there in the middle. No leaks. What about this side? No leaks. No leaks. Not leaking. So far so good. Let's check the fluid level. Double check. Everything's good to go. All right, so the ultimate test is to do a full U-turn with one hand. Now that I have power steering fluid, it should be a lot easier. Look at that, so much easier. Now all I need is an alignment, but I'll probably get that maybe this upcoming week. It's official that I have power steering on the 240SX, which I'm so freaking happy. I haven't had power steering fluid for like 2.5 years already. Always had to wrestle with the steering wheel, but now that I have power steering, it's like everything's so much easier. The next thing I gotta do is actually get a proper alignment for the car, and we'll be solid. I did order some new parts. I ordered some spacers for the rear because the car looks ugly without the spacers. The previous spacers that I had, they were not the right ones. They weren't hub-centric spacers. They were just regular spacers, so those broke, and yeah, I had to get rid of them. But I did order some hub-centric spacers for the rear, so that's coming in soon. And I still have to do a little bit more stuff with the car here and there. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, comment down below. Let's try to blast at least 10 likes on this video. Help me out, like the video, that way we can start pumping out more videos as well. Also wanted to mention that that steel line that I got from the Junkyard was only about like 13 bucks, so that was a sick come up if you ask me. $13 just to have power steering. Dude, I had to cop it. So but I am going to be putting out more videos, so stay tuned for that. And like always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.